Right, we're going to talk kind of politics now. There's a lot of speculation over tax at the weekend. I've got Vittorio on. You are late 20s, right?
Yeah, just the latest of the 20s.
The latest of the 20s. You're doing all right for yourself, bro. You know, we all see the Patreon, bro. So I don't know if this is the first time in your life where you've been earning well, but you're doing well. Just before we get into this, I'm just genuinely interested. Is whatever your view was on tax before that, have you slightly adjusted? Because the reason I ask is because you remember when Corbyn was first like trying to be Prime Minister, there was grime for Corbyn. And then I noticed at the next election, there wasn't as much grime for Corbyn. And I always wondered if that's because they'd done really well and had their first capital gains tax bill.
Their first tax bill?
Yeah. And they were sort of like getting a property portfolio. They maybe we need to rethink this whole thing.
Yeah, I think it is this thing of for roughly 11 months of the year, I'm sort of very left-leaning and believe in sort of taxing the rich, and tax can be a good thing, and we need to tax people to have proper social services and all of that. And then I have to do my tax return and I go, this is theft. This is a fucking disgrace.
just I'm going to live in Argentina. That Millia, the guy with the mad hair.
I think as well I think if you have a PAYE job or like an office job or a 9 to 5 or whatever, it just sort of comes out. You never see that money. You never have to put it to one side. You don't have to sort of deal with that. But I think it's the fact that being self-employed means you get all of the money, and then it's your responsibility to go, well, some of that's not really mine, is it?
Yeah. And once that becomes a considerable, then you start thinking about like what that pays for, and then I suppose it's like, you know, like when you get a speeding thing and then you have to go to the workshop to not have the points on your license. People will say, oh, you should be out catching real criminals. The amount of focus you get on government spending when you have your first big tax bill, you go, well, just what am I funding here? What am I funding that I don't like? I mean, it's interesting. I mean, income tax is the one that they're discussing. There seems to be, I don't know, some chance they might do that. They should have, if they were going to do income tax, surely they had to do that straight away, because they did come in and they slightly performatively, you know, maybe there was truth in it, but said it's a disaster. There's no money, and it's like ... So we're going to do this, but there wasn't the ... The ... ended up with we're taking away winter fuel, which personally I supported if done the right way. But eventually they rode back on that. So have they fucked this, whereby the window of time to do this without losing political capital was about a year and a half ago?
Probably, but I also think that income tax is a bit of like a false like god to like go at, because the vast majority of people who are making crazy money aren't like, they're too clever with their money just to be receiving that in a salary every month. You know, they're a director of the company and they're getting paid dividends, and they've got an offshore this and this savings thing, and it's tied up in that. And their wife's a director of the company as well, technically, and she's getting paid this and doing whatever. So I think, again, it seems the governments always sort of miss the people that are actually at the top of earners and actually exploiting the system by going, well, it's the big earners because of the political capital that they're trying to gain, because they can go, well, everybody earning this much, which is more than most people, and you would assume most people will vote for that. But it's actually not, that's not where the big problem is, and I don't think that's where the big gains in tax income are going to be made. You need to go at the sort of corporate side of things and tighten up all of these loopholes that...
Well, the super rich. I mean, the argument against that is that they're so rich that they're like nimble, whereby it's literally like, you know, like those kind of super villains in a volcano where they suddenly, like, you see rocket boosters and they just move the volcano somewhere else. I mean, that is the problem. But I mean, the other thing that they're saying is get rid of national insurance altogether. And one of the logic, I mean, national insurance is a fucking spurious tax. The idea that there's these different pots is hilarious. Some people do think it, I paid my full stamp. It all goes into one thing. But so they can get landlords, because obviously they fucking just despise all landlords, even though Rachel Reeves is one. But that would mean that they get pensioners. Good luck with that, because I think recently one thing that's been shown is pensioners ain't giving up shit. They're just like this community of people. Now they're the generation that didn't even fight in a war, but they certainly got that trench warfare mentality.
These are the most useless generation of elderly people we've ever encountered, and they all have this ego as if they did, storm the beaches of Normandy. They had the most blissful time to grow up
Well,
ever.
given the average age of my patrons, I feel that even for strategic reasons, I should push back a little bit. I suppose what I would say is this, right? I don't think that they do have a lot of money now, and I do think they've been overly protected with the triple lock and winter fuel. I do think that, right? But is that they didn't have fun with the money when they were younger. That was the thing, is they look at like the frivolous, even of Gen X and older millennials. And I think that they're a bit sort of cursing their choices, because if you look at like them when they were 30, they looked fucking older. They would maybe like, they would
They
have
were
like
all very suited, side
yeah,
parting, very
very serious
sensible.
lives. They had to like share bathwater. Some of them still had to shit outside. So I think that for them, maybe their kind of Second World War was the fact that the material element of their lives was shit, and they get
Yeah.
to go on cruises now. And look, I think that intergenerational unfairness is a fucking weird quirk of our times, but maybe that's how they see it. They didn't have enough fun. I think one of the other things that they're discussing is they're doubling council tax properties, doubling council tax for properties worth over $1 million, right? Again, like I think that will have a lot of support in the country, the wider country, right? Because that is a fucking lot of money. You know, it's a lot of money to most people. But there will be people in London who have properties that are worth that are not crushing it, right? So there will be, but I just don't think they'll give a fuck about that. I think that they're so unpopular, Labour, they'll probably just do this. I guess the issue is with council tax is that it's supposed to be about the services, isn't it? It is a wealth tax, isn't it? If you just say how big well, maybe then if they just go, look, you are paying at the higher rate, but you get a few little nice touches. So you know when they put the bin back, you get a little mint on it, like
a little after 8. Ooh.
Yeah, like on the pillow at the hotel.
Yeah. We need some like sort of silver service for the council.
VIP tier, council tax.
All the dog litter bins are gold.
Yeah. You get like speedy boarding when you go up the council offices. But they're not offering anything back. Just say, look, these are little benefits. A bit like a Patreon, where you go, look, we recognise the contribution you're making, and yeah, you'll get a coffee while you wait at the council offices.
You get a fist bump from the bus driver.
You get a fist, like with BA when they welcome we're One World Alliance partners.
Exactly. There's a lounge at the bus stop specifically for council tax payers.
Get little mini pastries there. The other things discussed exit tax, kind of like for the super rich. So you know what you're saying about go for the super rich. So there's an exit tax, kind of. It's a one-off thing. I don't know. It's unclear how much that would make, right? The other thing it would do, I guess, if we want entrepreneurs, is it might people think, well, I'm not going to live there because when I want to leave, they'll do an exit tax. So I don't know. Am I just protecting the wealth here? Because all the measures that sort of take more from the rich, I'm kind of shitting on them, I guess.
Yeah, you're a big lefty, Geoff. I've always said it about you. You're basically a communist at this point.
Basically, well, yeah. If you read X, I am. I suppose. The other thing that is possible here is that they just carry on like fiddling around the edges, right? Just kind of like fiddling while Rome burns, and this is a bait and switch, right? You know that thing that chancellors sometimes do. So they've done all of this. I think this is unlikely, but not impossible. It's so on budget day, Rachel Reeves gets up and talks in a very angry way and says, "So we will not be taking income tax." So they're just doing all of this just for that moment that all their MPs just point at the opposition and go, God, you fucking idiots. We thought we was going to raise income tax, so we haven't. Even though we might have slightly suppressed the economy for a while as everyone worried about it, we're not doing the thing. So the new win is that we're not doing something bad that you thought we were going to do. Could it be that?
Yeah, the little switch. I don't know. I have my own thoughts on who they should tax. I mean, I'm a Northern Irish Catholic, so I obviously think they should just take all the money off the royal family. Tax Bonnie Blue. She's making too much, I think. A specific, like, OnlyFans tax.
Yeah, and also an extra tier if you're kind of specifically targeting barely legal young men.
Also, like, she's putting other sex workers out of work, so she's probably negatively impacting the economy in a serious way.
Or she should open like a benevolent institute for young sex workers, the Bonnie Blue Academy, where she's actually bringing through the next generation of talent.
I think tax the Welsh. I think they've had it too good for too long. Yeah, just a general tax on being Welsh. And then this one actually I think could be a good idea. Billboards and like big advertising spaces. I think the world has become completely plagued with just like flashing. There's a poster everywhere. You can't if you try and spend a day without looking at an ad, it's completely impossible. So
Yeah.
I think there should be an extra tax on like public space advertising, because I think it's a kind of complete plague on our society, and there'll be an uptick in well-being.
Especially backlit stuff, backlit. You know,
Yes,
like those
yeah,
old,
yeah, yeah.
those medieval taxes that seemed really odd and specific. Like in 400 years, it would be so odd, the backlit tax. But if your advert,
Well, in Ireland, they used to tax windows. There was like a sunlight tax. The English used to take money for trying to get a tan.
see, fucking innovators, mate. We always have been.